Come towards the front of your mat with your hands over heart into Tadasana, mountain pose. As you bring your lips together, try to lengthen the spine, root through the heels, press the heels and balls of feet down into the mat. And without lifting the chin, push the crown of the head as high as we can. As the spine begins to elongate, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Center yourselves now in the present, in the moment. One more deep breath in and deep breath out. As you slowly begin to blink your eyes open, take a deep breath in, reach up to Hastasana, upward salute. And then pulling palms all the way through. Uttanasana, forward fold, chin towards the knees, dome the spine, just feel into that spine a little bit. Take a nice deep breath in, look forward. And then as we breathe out, begin to straighten legs a little bit further. Keep the spine nice and domed, easing into it. Place palms down onto the mat, step both feet back into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. From downward facing dog, lower down to knees, toes behind us, bend the elbows. Float chin down to the mat and then glide the belly through. The opening salutations to our practice will help us connect with breath and unwind and unlock the spine. Roll over knees, roll over toes. As we breathe out, take us back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, look forward. And as we breathe out, step both feet forward to the head of our mat. Bow the head to a forward fold. And then as we ripple the spine up, lower the hips, Uttanasana, and then all the way up back to our upward salute, and then end in mountain pose. Okay, let's begin the power sequence. Very challenging physical sequence. Follow breath and only do things that you feel comfortable with. Take a deep breath in, reach up, breathe out, pull us all the way through. Nice forward fold. Breathe in, let the chest rise. Breathe out, deep forward fold, push through the backs of the legs, bow the head, root the palms, step or jump back into plank. Bend the elbows, float down to Chaturanga Dandasana, and then Ujjayi Mukha Svanasana, open up to upward facing dog. Breathe out to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, let your right heel lift into the air. Breathe out, step forward, shoulder foot in between both hands. With left heel placed onto the mat, open to warrior one for one breath. Very dynamic flow. Open palms, root and step back. Breathe out, float down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Breathe in to upward facing dog. Let the hips lower. Roll over toes, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, root the heels. Breathe in, left heel lifts. Breathe out, step forward, shoulder foot in between both hands. Right heel rooted. And as we open to Virabhadrasana, a big twist towards the hips, eyes gaze up. Open palms, root down, step back. Final vinyasa, breathe in, open the chest, look up, and breathe out. Downward facing, take 5 breaths here. Separate the fingertips. Root the palms, try to root the heels. Find your bandhas, Anayana Bandha and our Mula Bandha. Pull in through the belly button, bring your lips together, take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Bend both knees, jump or step to the head of our mat. Eyes gaze forward, take a breath in. Breathe out, close with a nice domed forward fold. Bend the knees and again, lower into chair, Utkatasana, and then reach this time to a gentle back bend. Return to mountain pose. Let's continue that salutation one more time. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, pull all the way through, bow the head. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, bow the head. One breath to guide us through practice. Root palms, jump or step back into plank. Float down to Chaturanga. Breathe in, let the chest glide forward. Lower the hips and look up. Breathe out, downward facing. Always following breath through this vinyasa. Breathe in, right heel lifts. Breathe out, step forward. Left heel onto the mat. Open to warrior one, big twist to the hips. Release the palms, step back, float down. Breathe in, let the chest rise. Breathe out, roll over toes. So as you can see, we're beginning to follow each flow, each movement, each asana with breath. One breath guides us through each of the postures. Very dynamic, very power-led practice. It's going to challenge us in a much more physical way than many of our normal practices. So it's important to continue to be rooted, focus on alignment, but begin to lengthen breath. As we become more physically challenged and the practice becomes more demanding, our breath will go shorter and sharper and out of step. So take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Bend both knees, step or float forward. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, bow the head, deep forward fold. Bend the knees, lower back to chair and reach all the way to our back bend. Return to mountain pose. Continue this vinyasa. Pull us all the way through, forward fold. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, bow the head, deep forward fold, root the palms, step or jump back. This time we're going to spin onto our left hand, reach the right hand into the air. Lift the hips nice and high, eyes gaze up to the fingertips. Root the palm down, take our vinyasa. Breath in and breath out. Root the heels. Return back to our plank, float, twist onto the right hand. Lift the hips nice and high, eyes gaze up towards our fingertips. Root the palm down, float down, breath in, and breath out. Separate fingertips, pull the belly button in. Root the heels, take our 5 breaths. Each vinyasa, each flow will introduce a new posture. Bend both knees, look forward, step or jump. Breathe in, look forward, breathe out, bow the head, deep forward fold. Bend the knees, lower the hips all the way down to a deeper chair. Take us into the air. Back to mountain pose, continue our flow, breath in and breath out, we pull through. Dome the spine before it lifts, breathe in, breathe out, return it to a domed spine, root the palms, step or jump, catch into Chaturanga Dandasana. Breathe in to upward facing, breathe out, downward facing, right heel floats into the air, step forward, shoulder in between both hands, left heel rooted down to the mat, right palm inside of the right foot, lift the left hand into the air. Press the hips forward, eyes gaze up to the fingertips. Reroute, step back, and you can see that each new asana will follow a vinyasa, very physically challenging. Reach the left heel into the air, step forward. As left hand roots, right hand opens us into the air. Reach the fingertips, take a deep breath in. Frame the foot, step back, float down, take a deep breath. And breath out, 5 breaths. Adho Mukha Svanasana, push through the palms, send the hips nice and high. Close the lips as you lengthen breath, sending your hips higher, root the heels down to the mat. Eyes gaze forward, bend the knees. Step or jump, breathe in and breathe out. Again, bend the knees, these gentle squats that will begin to challenge us all the way into those deeper chairs. Take us back and we flow. Breath in, pull us all the way through. Now we're beginning to add more heat, more fire into our practice. Bend the knees, step or catch into Chaturanga Dandasana. Breathe in to upward facing. Breathe out, downward facing. Breathe in, right heel into the air. Step forward, shoulder in between both hands. This time as we straighten the right leg, take hold of the ankle. Lift into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Again, just one breath. Reframe the foot, step back, float down, really strong flow, breath. So we can feel that heat beginning to rise through the body, our heart rate beginning to lift, left foot begins to root, reach the fingertips of the right hand into the air, breath. And we glide down, step, float down, breathe in, chest rises, breathe out, roll over toes, downward facing, and again, 5 breaths. So as we feel the challenge to the shoulders, as we feel the challenge to our breath, to our hearts, it's now just like we began class. We take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Recenter us. Bend the knees, look forward, step or jump, look forward, take a breath in, breathe out, deep forward fold. Lower the hips all the way down into that squat, deep chair, take us back. Mountain pose, we continue, breathe in, reach up, breathe out, pull us all the way through, breathe in, let the chest rise, breathe out, deep forward fold, root the palms, step or jump back, catch into Chaturanga Dandasana, breathe into upward facing, lift the head, breathe out, downward facing, right heel lifts in the air, we bend the knee, we push the heel away. As the ball of foot releases, we push it down onto the mat, open to wild thing, lengthen and lift the hips. Reframe the foot, Take us back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Breathe in, upward facing, let the head lift. Breathe out, downward facing, left heel lifts with a breath in. Push the heel away. As the ball of the foot lands, we gaze over our spine. Press the hips nice and high. Reframe the foot. And again, through our vinyasa. Breathe in and breathe out. 5 breaths. This is where our challenge begins to take hold. Keep your eyes open. Gaze through the knees. Don't give in. Welcome these feelings of strength, as power, as new energy. Lengthen. Breath in and breath out. Bend the knees. Step or float forward. Look forward, breath in. Breathe out, deep forward fold. Bend the knees. Always connecting with that deep chair. Reach us back to mountain pose. We continue. Take a deep breath in all the way up. Deep breath out, pull us all the way through dome spine. Breathe in, let the chest rise. Breathe out, bow the head. Deep forward fold, root the palms. Step or jump back. Breath in to upward facing. Breathe out, downward facing. Right heel lifts once more. Breathe in. Breathe out, step forward, solar foot in between both hands. Root in the left palm. Reach the right hand into the air. Pull up through that left thigh. Eyes gaze up. Reframe the foot. Step back, we continue our flow. All that vinyasa, all that movement guided by breath. Breathe in, left heel lifts. Breathe out, step forward, root in the right palm. Left hand reaches us. Straighten the right knee, push the heel away. Reframe the foot. Almost there through our flow. Continue to connect to breath. And again, eyes remain open. As we return to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, push through palms, send your hips high, and lengthen breath. Deep breath in, and deep breath out. Bend the knees. Look and step or jump forward. Dome the spine to a forward fold. Bend the knees. Sink, 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 sink. And as we can hear and feel that fire in us, we continue 2 more waves. Breathe in, let the chest rise. Breathe out, deep forward fold, root the palms. Step or float and catch back, Chaturanga. Breathe in to upward facing. Breathe out, downward facing. Right heel lifts in the air with a breath in. This time as we breathe out, bring the knee towards the chin. Twist it underneath us. Straighten the leg. And then open the left hand into the air to fallen triangle. Reinvert the body. Reframe the foot. Step back to our plank, float down, vinyasa. Breath in and breath out. Left heel floats with a breath in. Bring the knee towards the chin. Twist it underneath the body. As we extend the right leg, again we open to fallen triangle. Reach. Take a deep breath. Reroute the palm. Step back. Vinyasa. Breath in and breath out. With our almost at our final sequence. Try to take the breath away from the short and sharp and stressed and worried. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Bend the knees, look forward, step or float forward. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, bow the head. Bend the knees. Final sequence to open up to arm balances. Take us all the way forward once more. Breathe in, chest rise. Breathe out, deep forward fold. Root the palms. Lift up onto toes. Catch into our vinyasa. Breath in and breath out. Okay, here comes our third series of arm balances. Breathe in, reach the right leg into the air. We're going to step it forward, bend the knee, lift the heel. Take a breath. Kick us back. Float down to Chaturanga. Breath in and breath out. Breathe in, left heel into the air. Take us to the other side. We lift the hips, catch our breath. We float down, breath in and breath out. Eyes open, focus on breath. Don't become distracted by the heart. Deep breath in and deep breath out. bend the knees. Step or jump forward. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, bow the head, deep forward, fold. Bend the knees. Take sort of final Uttanasana. Beautiful back bend. Hands over heart, close your eyes, mountain pose. Steady breath. Take us away from those fluctuations, those stresses, those worries. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Lower down to knees to our inversions. While we have that prana energy, that life force, that feeling that we can have within us now, we always try to encourage, particularly for the more advanced practices, intermediate practices, that we send that energy into our hearts and into our head. They're our two strongest electromagnetic fields, and the two brains which govern much of the body. So when our practice now, as you can feel, challenged, we feel the heat, we feel the warmth, our hips are unwound and our energy begins to flow through our nadis, it's important, if we're able to do an inversion, to practice one. So any inversion that you wish, we're going to teach headstand inversion, forearm headstand. So touch both elbows, root the palms up, crown of head goes down onto the mat. If we're unsure where our crown chakra is, the blunt of our palm goes against our eyebrows, middle finger goes onto the crown of our head. That point goes down. Our gaze should be able to look in between both hands. Interlace the fingertips, walk up onto toes, push the palms down, take our feet slowly, but nice and high into the air. Eyes open, focus breath. Lengthen breath. Point the toes, head, heart, hips. Bend the knees down. Child's pose, balasana. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. From balasana, walk our hands backwards. Bring our feet together. Cross over the heels at the back. Sit in Sukhasana or even into lotus or half lotus, however we feel comfortable. Palms facing down to begin with. Gently bend and bow the spine. And the most important part of our practice. An opportunity to travel through our final few branches or limbs of our 8-limb Patanjali tree. After our asana practice, we return to breath. Lips together, close our eyes. Those familiar with the Ujjayi breath, begin to engage that now, just for 1 minute. Those unfamiliar with that, focus on vocalizing through the throat. As we breathe in, contract the back of the throat. And as we breathe out, keep the lips together. Do the same, create that nice smooth ha. One moment, blink the eyes open. Become aware of what you see, what you feel, what you taste. Hands over hand into prayer. Namaste.